Y'all know what the answer is to this, right? There's a lot of people that talk on YouTube, on the media, and the world scene. You got people that make a living doing YouTube channels. Look, you can tell my donations are scant. Look at my shirts. Now, I wear this at the house. I hate throwing away wholly torn up shirts. They're comfortable. They're good bed shirts. I'm going to say some things that's going to offend some Americans, but it needs to be said. The answer to the title of this video is no. America could not beat China or Russia in the war. Number one, Russia and China and America have nukes. Okay? And your president, Biden, just got on national TV today saying that we're fresh out of a certain kind of ammo. Did you hear that? Getting on national TV and admitting that for the whole world to know. That was bright. Somebody needs to put that little boy in a nursing home and change his depends. This is getting ridiculous. And you think Putin and you think Xi and all those people don't hear that? You think they're not listening to our media? You better believe they are. We got the dumbest, most incompetent, most foolish president in the history of the United States of America. That is not my opinion. That is a bona fide fact. The administration that supported him and the people that voted him in are among the most foolish people in the entire world. Number one, Putin is not as dumb as Biden. Number two, Xi Jinping is not as dumb as Biden. I do not agree with the CCP in China. I lived in Hong Kong, as you know, for a year. I am not a communist. I don't go for that. I love Asian culture. I have a love for Asia. It doesn't matter whether you agree with me or not. Okay, there's something called truth. The Bible, Ezekiel 38:39, talks about something very interesting called Gog and Magog. And a conflagration of nations with Gog and Magog. And you in 2023 who say the Bible isn't true and laugh at it, there's an area of the world that was called Gog and Magog at one time. And that is known as Russia. It says in the last days they will come up against Israel. They will encircle the land. They will show up with intent to destroy the Jews once and for all. There is no America. There is no country in the world that's going to be able to come in and say, it'll be so bad that God himself is going to have to intervene. This is a foolish president, this Biden. He's like a toddler, running his mouth at Putin. I don't know anything about Putin. I'd actually like to sit down and talk to the man. That would never happen. I would actually like to talk to him and find out what he believes. I would never get that luxury. When you're president of the United States, you don't talk tough and you don't run your mouth to people like Putin. And Biden's got his dirty, dirty, filthy hands involved with his dirty, filthy son who brings crack into the White House. And there's a bona fide fact that they've extracted and made money off of China with dirty, dirty deals and bringing in people to spy on us and letting it happen. Why would a president do that? Because the Democrats' philosophy is, I got mine, screw you. That's why. America is on dangerous, precipitous ground right now. It has been for a while. It's just accelerated in the last 3 years. The media has successfully, and the Democratic Party has successfully got us focused on racial issues, which there are no racial issues. The only racial issue is the lie that the African American community believes within the continental United States. This is called redirecting. It's a term we use for naughty kids. Redirecting. When you are doing something dirty and you're doing something big and you don't want the average American to see it, you stir a pot over here and start a fire, and everybody's focused on that fire. Do you see what's going on in France right now? France is coming undone. It's very sad to see. All them hooligans from other countries that have no respect for France are tearing the city up. And France and burning stuff, and that's what happens when you go for multiculturalism and let all these ethnicities in that don't agree with your values, your ways, or nothing. And to that I say, why would you let people into your country that don't like your country and your ways? Because we got a lot of people at the leadership in countries, and especially in America, they're not thinking about me and they're not thinking about you. Folks, it's getting scary. And no, we cannot win Russia in a war. How in the world do we play that game? We're playing it by sending all this crap to the Ukraine. Now we're going to send cluster bombs. And those are dangerous. And a friend of mine just brought me up to speed on them. When they don't explode, they end up on the ground and children find them and start playing with them, and then they go off and end up maiming a child or killing it. That's a war crime right there. We should not be giving one dime to the Ukraine. I don't trust Zelensky. I don't trust the Ukraine. Russia's threatened nuclear war. Biden's threatened it back. What America and Russia have been doing for years is playing chess. And what they've used is Syria and Iran and Iraq as pawns. They know they can't go up against each other, so they fund other countries to go up against other countries. It's really a sick little game. And because Biden thought he was so brilliant, and this dumbass Democrat administration thought they were so brilliant, China and Russia now are making deals with each other. Isn't that nice? Isn't that just awesome? You don't want those two countries lining up together. We cannot send troops to fight in Russia, to take them on the ground. That's ludicrous. Russia could send something over here. I want you to think about this. What if our defense shield doesn't work? What if Russia shot an ICBM right on DC with every congressional leader present in Capitol Hill and Biden's in the White House, and they took out all those politicians in one fell swoop? Probably to be the best thing Russia could ever do for us. Yes, I said that. These politicians are damaging and destroying this country. They're killing us. Putin is not somebody you trifle with. And the liberals are not very smart. They're setting our country on fire. They're trying to shred the Constitution. They're trying to push transgender. They're trying to turn your values upside down. The FBI is clearly in the back pocket of the Democrat administration. Crack in the White House, and you got buffoons saying, well, we really can't know who did this. That is a lie. There are cameras all over. That is the most protected house in America, in the world. Don't kid yourself. The Democratic Party and the FBI are in bed together. And I believe the CDC as well. I did not like Paul Fauci, and I think he should be charged for criminal negligence. And I think all these so-called science people screaming and yelling about spherical heating, that is ridiculous. Have you listened to the nonsense about the fires in Canada? That's all because of spherical heating? No, it has to do with dry forests. It has to do with cycles of drought. It also has to do with the fact that forest fires are actually good for forests. It's all part of the cycle. We're living in an age where people are very, 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 very unwise. Very unwise. Just some basic thinking. And I even listen to other people that claim to be Christians. Oh, we're going to have a nuclear war and the world's going to end. Did you read the end of the Bible? It's not going to end by a nuclear war. Read the end of the book. Man's not that great that he's going to end the world. God's going to end it when he says. Nuclear weapons are bad. They're very bad. Russia and the U.S. were stockpiling things in the Cold War. Then they began to dismantle them. You know, so much has happened. Has anybody even forgotten about Hillary? She was trying to sell uranium to Russia. What was that all about? And Putin said that if Clinton won the White House, said America and Clinton and Putin would be at war. And I'm amazed that we've got people still in this country, oh, our military's badass, they kicked their butt. No, they wouldn't. This military is more concerned about what gender you are. You think China and Russian militaries are teaching their kids about all this crazy sexual issues? Now they're teaching them how to fight, and they're teaching them the disciplines of going to battle against the enemy. America's exposing her belly to the enemy. They're like a lamb that goes down in the middle of the valley floor and lays down and puts its legs in the air and starts bleating. And the wolves are on the ramparts licking their lips going, let's get them, boys. God himself is going to stop Russia. Russia's arrogance will know no bounds when it comes to the point of wanting to surround and crush Israel like a grape. That Bible prophecy ought to tell you something. America's not going to beat Russia. And this lie that the media is telling you that Ukraine's winning, that is a lie. That is not happening. They're getting obliterated. Their infrastructure is getting pounded. And all the weapons that they're sending over there, they don't know how to use them. And it's entirely possible that it was the Ukraine that shut open the pipeline over there and busted a dam trying to blame Russia. The Democrats are warmongers. They don't bring peace. They bring strife. Our politicians have become very smug and full of ego. They think nothing can happen to them. There's people from all the walks of life that try to tell me, oh, these are elitists and blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. The devil uses people. He's not their friend. He never was their friend. He will use people as pawns. And elitists will use our Democrat Party as pawns. You think you're going to take on China with 1 billion people? America's population is 330 million Americans. But China's a big place. You think you're going to just show up, put troops on the ground? No, you're not. What, are you going to shoot stuff back and forth? No, you're not. Russia and China have nothing to lose by lofting a couple of ICBMs over here, but if we did that, the fallout would hit Europe and Asia, and we piss off everybody. Americans better stop being so smug. We have really turned our back on wisdom. The Democratic Party has killed 61 million children. That's more than Stalin, Lenin, Mussolini, and Hitler combined. I'm not going to listen to or entertain American women with their so-called choice. That is a fallacy. That living being called child in the womb did not get to make the choice. The woman could have made a choice, but she didn't want to close her legs. America wants their cake and eat it too, and it's going to cost us. It's already costing us. Dumb voters voting in dumb administration, and the prices of every damn thing is going up. And it's disgusting to listen to the media say that Joe Biden's approval ratings fallen to 38%. Who's the dumb 38% that approves? Just the fact Russia hasn't shot off something over here shows to you that Putin is smarter than many people give him credit for. But let me say it again. There is nothing in the Bible that hints about the existence of this country. There's nothing in the Bible that says America's got to be part of Bible prophecy. It's not mentioned. The closest thing to it might be the merchants of Tarshish and her young lions. And the merchants of Tarshish were, there's a lot of debate on that. But America is not mentioned. Neither is Canada or Mexico. The Bible talks about everything over there. Israel, Persia, Ethiopia, Libya, Put, Togarmah, and Gog and Magog. America could be wiped out before the tribulation even starts. America could be rendered a third world country. And let me tell you something, if you keep leaving the Democrats in power, they're going to break our financial back. The Bible says, professing to be wise, they became as fools. You're looking at it, oh, I got college, we got the media, you're fools, and you're making foolish decisions. And then you get on national media and say, we're running low on this ammo in the military. Oh, oops. Loose lips sink ships. How much longer is this crap going to endure before America truly gets spanked? I've said it before, and I'm sorry to pick on this, but I'm going to. Americans can't even drive their cars properly. They don't even care about their fellow man anymore. We've already talked and beat the horse to death into the ground about American women. I mean, this country is not doing well. When you got people getting mad at somebody wearing a hat that says, "Make America Great Again," you got to ask yourself a question. What's all the anger? Hunter Biden is so arrogant. He's a fool. Addicted to crack. Brings it into the White House. Making a mockery. And then leaving it somewhere where it can be found by the Secret Service. Not only should he be arrested, but mommy and daddy should be held accountable for that. And I'm not going to say impeach. Impeach is a joke. It doesn't mean anything anymore. What needs to happen to Joe Biden is they need to physically come in, handcuff him and his wife, and say, you're done. And then they need to get Kamala Harris and AOC and Nancy Pelosi and all these Democrats and say, you're not allowed anywhere near a political institution again. They're not doing anything for the American people. They are destroying. This push for electric. We're going to have electric missiles, electric submarines, electric battleships, and electric helicopters. Oh boy. This is called planned failure by the left. You know, at the time of World War II, China was in bad straits. Japan was their mortal enemy. Japan was horrible to them. China was so primitive. And even when I was a kid, China was primitive, and look at where they are today. And guess who helped get them there? America. Sending all our factories over there, wanting things cheap, and we got cheap, all right. Things are made like crap. What you buy at the store will be busted in a year or less. Our tools are manufactured elsewhere. No more do we see made in the USA. And we funded, the American dollar funded a lot of China's uptick. You go to Beijing. Now, back in the day, Beijing was called Peking. And those were kind of primitive places to be. You go to Asia today, their cities and their skyscrapers make New York City look like a ghetto. And you got Americans sitting back on their butts saying, shoot, we could beat China. China's already beat us, technologically, in all kinds of ways. Russia has problems. They got a lot of problems. But Biden should not be running his mouth at Putin. Shouldn't be doing it. Putin is not somebody you run your mouth at. If I was president, I wouldn't be running my mouth on national TV about the man. I would sit down and talk to him and try to understand how his mind works. You know, the Bible says something very interesting. It says, when a man's ways please the Lord, he makes even his enemies to be at peace with him. First of all, Biden doesn't please God because Biden is not of God. Neither is the Democratic Party, generally speaking. How long do you think that we can continue in this, using no common sense, no wisdom, throwing money at stuff, meddling in the Ukraine? The Ukraine is not, was not, has not been our friend. What's this all about? I mean, that's a question that begs an answer. It's politics, my friend. And it has to do with Hunter. It has to do with all the dirty money that the Bidens have made over there, patting each other on the corrupt backs. It's sick. When you got an officer saying, we'll never know where the crack came from or who brought it in, but yet January 6th, they know everybody that was involved with that. Huh. Interesting. This president is a fool. And I don't want to make fun of old age. I'm getting old. But Biden is not fit to lead a daycare center, let alone the Oval Office. And you know Putin and China and all them are laughing at him. And Biden tries to run his mouth at China when he's played footsie with China, and Chinese people are laughing and going, this guy's an idiot. America has become the laughing stock of the world because of Joe Biden and the Democrats. And contrary to popular belief, they were not laughing about Donald Trump. China did not like Donald Trump at all because Trump was going to level the playing field on trade and stuff, which was necessary. Biden is a horse's ass. He's the new version of send in the clowns. And I'm not just saying this. This is not just my opinion. I could do a better job leading the country. Pacific Ocean could do a better job leading the country than that clown could. Because I would approach it with sobriety, with seriousness. I would realize I can't please everybody. But the last thing I would do is run my mouth at world leaders. The last thing I would do is play footsie with China. The last thing I would do is get involved in the Ukraine. I would never win the presidency. There is no way I could. The only people that win the presidency are people that are good at playing games. Honestly. And the reason I voted for Donald Trump 2 times is because he didn't play the games that everybody played. He called it out. He said he wanted to drain the swamp. And if you noticed, since Trump has been out of office, the swamp has become more and more self-evident. They're swamp beasts. It stinks over there. It's fermenting. And we need to shut the swamp down. But you got the FBI's in the back pocket of the presidency. And you've got the Republicans are actually doing investigating, finding that Biden had his dirty hands in Chinese money while president. And the FBI is not cooperating with requests for things. Everybody thinks, well, it's all being exposed, man. You just wait. We're going to turn this. Who's going to turn it around? You? If the FBI won't investigate it, if the FBI won't do anything, then and the DOJ, who's going to do it? Do you not see that we're at a point where the FBI can just turn a deaf ear and play dumb? And they are. They know Biden's full of shit. They know he's guilty as hell. They know who the crack cocaine belongs to. They all know. But they get a free pass. Because the Democrats and the major institutions of the land have become one with each other. Maybe our founding fathers didn't think clear enough about that scenario. We have checks and balances, but if the checks and balances become friends with the party that's in power, how do you stop them? Tell me how you stop it. You call the police on the FBI? That's a good one. We have actually arrived at a point where evil has become very smart. And evil's on the throne right now in this country. It totally is. They're lining their wallets, lining their pockets. Look at Bill Gates buying up farmland. Now he wants to make vegetable beef. And, what is these people's deal? I mean, if I had the money Bill Gates did, you think I'd be involved in? He believes in population control. Well, let's start with you. And let's start with all the baby killers. Your party has killed 61 million people. And what is ironic about Democrats is their blatant hypocrisy is when a woman who's pregnant with a child gets killed by a murderer. Oh, that's awful. And they'll charge the man with 2 murders. But watch this sleight of hand and watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat, Rocky. When a woman has an abortion, it's just a fetus. It's my choice. Oh, really? How long do you think America is going to prosper? No, we're not going to win a war with Russia and China. God may use them to destroy us. We have played the fool over here. To whom much is given, much will be required. If you notice, we're falling off of our hilltop real fast. Go do a study on empires. Please. America's the young puppy. We're not going to make it no 500 years. We're not going to win in a war with Russia or China. It's not going to happen. But if our country keeps doing the stupid things that they're doing, can you imagine Kamala Harris getting in there? She'd escalate us into a war real quick because she is dumb as a stump. There are principles in the Bible that if you run away from them, we're going to pay for that. And people say, well, I'm not a Christian. But when you have leaders that are making decisions that go against God's express will, you think God's going to just stand back and bless that? Well, I don't believe there's a God. Well, whatever, dude. You saying he doesn't exist doesn't make it so. But this idea that we can vote this trash out of office, that's gone. When you have corruption as deep as you see it right now with crack cocaine, that should be immediate. Hunter Biden has been arrested. And we're going to be, just like Nixon. The Bidens are out. No more. The fact that they're not doing anything about any of this. Let's go back to Epstein and Madeleine Griswold. She got sent jail time. She was fucking little girls, underaged. How come we don't know who was all involved in that? The Democrats don't want us to know. That's why. There's a rumor that Bill Gates, the Clintons, Prince Harry, and quite a few people were all involved in that Fantasy Island thing. I'd really like to know who was involved in that. Don't you? There might even be some Republicans in that mess. Does it make you mad when you're struggling to pay your bills? Does it anger you to see this crap go on and nothing's done? It kind of erodes your faith, doesn't it? You hear about justice, justice. There's no justice going on right now. But no, America doesn't stand on solid ground like they did in World War II. If Russia or China decide to come after us, America better shake in its boots because it's over. There is no reason we would win a war. Not with this party in power. They have made us vulnerable. They have made us weak. And then Biden gaffes again, telling the business of military secrets on national television. Don't think that China and Russia will miss that one. Thanks for listening, folks. God is sovereign, but America is not. God holds the future, but America does not. God knows the future, but America does not. We may end up losing everything over here. Did you ever think of that? Sure looks like it's headed that way. Pretty scary, isn't it?